the emperor, and Atifku. May Atifku just forget this side. Now, this is what we have heard and what we know. People destroying people are going to have to forget southern Nigeria. I mean, they can all pretend as much as they want, but the journey to Nigeria's breakup was planned and kick-started by people destroying people who had the 16 years of an opportunity of making Nigeria have a true federalism, something that could somehow, at least belly a bit of what can no longer be buried anymore. Belly them in a way that maybe this division won't be this much, probably so aggressive and violent, so to say. But they didn't. They pushed Nigeria into the hole, right? And they can't give the key to the Megad, who is deaf and dumb. Bukwari. So they orchestrated the whole thing. And you see the people of Eastern Nigeria, people of Southern, Niger Delta of Nigeria, somehow, they seems to just be in this cult relationship with these people destroying people until the issue of who is going to be president, zoning it or not, Southern Nigeria, Northern Nigeria. You know the rest of the story, right? So today, Comrade Wike is now saying Southern Nigeria, that Southern Nigeria is not a slave or second class to Northern Nigeria because Atifku, they don't show him pepper. Shebi Tambuwa that betrayed him. They know they talk again. We heard, Abi. That's not the only thing. Since they have now started walking around him, okay, he's pushing. First thing, they said he's doing everything to tell those who are still talking about Atifku in River State that whatever they want, he will give to them. They should stop talking about Atifku here. And that is why he had to ensure that 100,000 people are loyal to him and they will help him stop Atifku and they will deliver River State to Tinubu. So one of them that I tried to persuade and is not yielding, I think his name is Lee Mueba, Maeba, something like that. Right. There is a land, free land, government land or people's land that was given to him by the government of Rivers. Wike don't revoke him because of their loyalty to Atifku. Okay, so it's getting hotter and hotter day by day in that Rivers, same in Oyo State. Seyi Makinde and his own political party PDP, they don't clash. They say Seyi Makinde he has already made a deal with Jagabanditi, the Jaga Addicti, Aṣíwájú àwọn olè, Aṣíwájú àwọn agbèrò, that they have already made deal. If you like, enter Kana, Seyi don't go tell them, say, na Aṣíwájú, Abi, Atifku and his own people, they have now made Oyo PDP to tell Seyi Makinde, it be like say you dey craze, Abi. You dey mad, Abi. So you come here, now you go tell us, say, our own party, people destroying people, we get Atifku. We should now just sit down here, Abi. Can't go vote for Kolu, Tinubu. You be like say you the mentor, Abi. That's the press release today. Okay? So as it be, they say, Mr. Unifier, no fee unify in your own party. Well, you heard that yesterday. So it is like, back and forth and the rest of that, as you will say. So they said they've revoked the land to this senator. What's his name again? Leah Meba. So it don't they get it don't they read. Meanwhile, on the other side, on the part when we were talking about money, right? For you to know that the money is in circulation, the wreck the money in circulation is going to bring can best be imagined, Abi. Sometimes we should also say when they manage to discover, or should I say, detect this bunch of criminals, among others, to show to us that, well, whatever you are saying is true. But we are doing our best as well to see if we can arrest any scapegoat to show to you. They found a scapegoat. Somebody is running for, okay, put it this way. You know, Kogi State is one of the poorest states in Nigeria. True or false? I'm talking about now. I'm not talking about Kogi is not poor, if not because we have poor leadership. I'm saying, you know, Kogi State is one of the poorest states in Nigeria right now. Okay, you know that. That's a fact. You also know that Kogi State, like many other parts of Nigeria, many states in Nigeria have been so unfortunate with born criminals who have always been in charge of that state, Abi. Then would you ever believe that somebody who is, I don't know if he has, there's no track record that he's a multimillionaire or a business magnate or nothing, but he's a politician, okay? And he's running for House of Assembly in Kogi State. And guess how much they found on him? Nearly 400 million naira cash, because they said they won't change naira. They said they found nearly $300,000 cash. You know what I found in that? I'll show you. This guy. Some of you have seen it, Abby. Okay, wait. This is the guy. He belonged to Kwakwanso NNPP. Are you following me? From Kogi State. His name is Ismaila Yusuf Atumeyi. And the way he is, and his first name and his middle name, you can tell that he's a Muslim. And coming from Yeyebelo State, these are those who feel offended if you say anything about Islam, and they will say they should kill you because how dare you commit that kind of sin against our prophet. Now look at this rogue, an economic saboteur, economic criminal from Kogi State. They found over 300 million naira stashed in bags, right? In bags, because Nigeria won't change money. So when they began, he was going to go to the Kogi State House of Assembly to make laws for the people of Kogi State. So what I deduced from that is that he's already done one exchange already, like he was probably coming back from one Bureau de Change where he's already dropped bags of cash for that dollars they found on him. He's probably going to another place with that nearly 400 million naira cash that you're seeing in this bag. Yeah. Before they intercepted him, or maybe people who saw him with those bag of cash in all these cars. Look at all these cars. Range this. So you see some of them. If you are selling cars, you will see politicians that are just going to walk up to you and say, can you supply us 500 buses? You may think it's a joke. Shebi your babalawo don't tell you, say, just make sure, say, you hit those asaje very well every morning. You shower with that soap. You call those incantation and everything. So if you get to work, you will see what will surprise you. The new one where I just do you right now. Somebody will just come in and they will give you a contract. So now this time, all those people go work. Now you see your babalawo, your mamalawo, your pastor, your prophet, all of them, they'll be job men. But guess what? All of you are businessmen. Now this time, you go be like, say, your prophet. Now serious one from God. Now God send them. No. These guys are looking for where to dispose all this cash. So probably somebody saw him where he was making the deal. African Day. Of course, now the guy is from Kogi. You know, hear me? Now honorable. Now supposed to honorable. Do you know that the salary of Nigerian House of Assembly members, do you know their salary is just 450 naira? I'm sorry, 450,000 naira. Do you know that? How much is 450,000 naira in dollars now? It's probably going to be $500. Nigerian lawmaker, basically they collect $500 in a month, but he's already doing money laundering for people who are like the big fish in politics. He's been doing it, so it's just that one is just like a cover to say, I'm honorable. What do you do for a living? I'm honorable. I'm a businessman. I'm also honorable. Oh, honorable. Which can't you see? Honorable as of so most of them are using these places as a hideout. Okay, as hideout from, should I say, international authorities who probably would have tracked them and traced them for money laundering. Look at that guy. Should this one look like somebody will don't work and make genuine what do you call it, 500 million naira? My good money no they show for face because all majority of them be criminals. Are you with me? Majority of una, you be criminals. What you call grace in Nigeria, they are mostly crimes. The crimes that you are never caught. Let me tell you something, though. You can't fight grace. Grace is not when you steal from people and then you give the glory to God and say, thank you, glory, glory, God. These are guys who have billions, millions, but they have never invented anything. They have never done any real business that you can trace to them, right? But they have all the money, you know, because they are politicians. Kogi State. You see the guy. I mean, I'm showing you his face because his godfathers are going to get him out. He said he has character. Che character, lele, you know, he has competence for money laundering, and he has the capacity to move any money. This is not, and they are like that. Oh, they are in their hundreds, if not thousands, across all over Nigeria, everywhere. Money launderers, kidnappers, murderers, rapists, and anything you can call them. You do have genocidists and then a jihadist apologist as well. That's that guy. That is why the people who fund them, who support them, and then kind of are their godfathers or their backers, in most cases, yeah, they are those who run for the higher offices. So just this afternoon, when I was doing my nosy, just looking around and checking what's going on everywhere, and I was told, I mean, I saw this, and it's actually about it's of Tinubu warning the people in Lagos. You know that Funke Akindele, Funke Akindele is the deputy governorship candidate of PDP in Lagos. So according to them, I mean, are you joking? Are you playing? What kind of play is this? So according to them, it's going to be a walkover for Sonwoiku. They have all the money, they have all the clout, they have all the power. But I'm just waiting to see those who said they could shock them. You shock them like electric, make us see them. So that will be a breaking news, Abby. It will never happen. But the emperor has warned people. Listen, when we are talking anything here or there, I don't want anybody to mention that Funke Akindele wherever I am. It's an insult for you to even mention a name next to me. You know, that's your presidio too. You think it's going to be like, you know, it don't mention Funke Akindele in my presence because it is an insult. Arifini. I'll show you before I finally take you to another part of this conversation as well, right? First, on your mandate. Now, if you join them in Nigerian politics when they are singing all those Orioti and all of that, it's quite fun. But it's just that they are the same people who suffer the consequences of all their choices. But sadly, they are irredeemable. And it is democracy, they call it. There's another part, I think they were singing here before he started warning them. Ẹni sùúrù màámi ẹjọ́ ẹni sùúrù ṣẹ́rí nǹkan kékeré ta fún yín yẹn tó tẹ́nájì yín pọ̀ tó yìí àti fún yín lẹ́ni tí o lórúkọ ti bàbá lórúkọ ti ọmọ lórúkọ ti ẹ̀mí mímọ́ màámi ẹni sùúrù mà just calm down you see that little thing we gave to you that gave you all this energy that one na just tospe o na tospe na taste shey you get if all of you dúró and stand with aṣíwájú digbidigbi we still have more to give to you. But the emperor is hard enough. It's like, you know, talon Fuka Kindele. Jennifer ni Aṣíwájú. Talon Jennifer. You ever mention, you know, emperor, listen to him. I told you, right? If they can put suit on Tinubu, they can do all the packaging and all of that, right? You will never have the best of the best content creator for this era, Tinubu. The real Tinubu is when he speaks his mind. Don't give him scripts. Don't say nah, you won't get much. If you let him speak, now from there you go, they say, oh boy. Everybody will be laughing. But you think you are laughing at his misfire, his gaffes, his jokes. But you are actually laughing at him and be like, ó ti tán. Sọ pé ó ti lọ. Sọ pé ó ti lọ. So because of this, they continue to make sure that they use their basement campaign strategy. I think I made that up. Did I make that up? Did I make that basement campaign? Because I keep saying that, I keep using that. I've seen it somewhere, and then reading about it, but I've not read more. But fine. You know what that means? Basement campaign strategy. The strategy to make sure that wherever you see Tinubu, there are going to be events organized by his group. Wherever you're going to see him on any invite, at any occasion, it's going to be at the occasion that they have behind the scene coordinated. Anything else, they are not going to be involved. And you're going to wake up and you'll be like, how did Tinubu become your president? Because they use basement campaign strategy. Give me a sec. I want to look XSSE to today. I don't know. Una they click on this. Sorry, my friends on YouTube, right? Una they click on those XSS something. Because I don't know why those guys are always here. Whenever we reach like 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 viewers, they'll just show up, begin the advertising, then get customer here. Because this is supposed to be temple of truth. We might have to do some internal checking because I don't know. They just pop up somewhere and pam, 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 pam. Like, you get customer here. I be why you can't they? And if you are one of them, where they click on those links, Baba, I beg no they patronize them. Now they make that it can't be like say like hold up. Say. And you are listening to the word from the geo. Being distracted. I know, and I'm advising, okay, please stop clicking on them. All right. So somebody said they are the Kolu, whatever. But I'm just saying, is a diversion or a distraction or something. Anyway, basement campaign strategy. Hide him away from everyone as much as possible. Whenever he has to show up in public, make sure that we are involved in how it's going to be and what he's going to say there, who is he going to meet, and who is going to talk there. In fact, wherever he has to be asked questions, let us strategically position members of our team that are going to be answering those questions, not him. Don't expose Ashiwaju. Okay? Because if you give Ashiwaju microphone, it will create more than 20 great content for content creators online, including myself, which is true. So to starve us, those content of Tifnumbu, like those ones, like all those, they're not too long. They're not too long. They go just be like about 3 minutes, 2 minutes. Sometimes now just 45 seconds. You see all those content. Now the time where Tifnumbu is not scripted. Same thing with Bokuwari. If you give Bokuwari microphone, people will get dementia. That's how it is, They have what they want to say, but their mind is saying something else. Also, sorry, they have something they want to say, but their mind is thinking something else. When they combine all thoughts together, their mouth is saying something else, different completely. So when they begin to make you them together, now you go on, they be like, say, I don't understand what this man they talk. Because you will never understand. You're not a doctor. You can't understand dementia patients, old people like that. So they have to coordinate him. Make sure that you don't just suddenly come and start asking about climate change. What is wrong with you? That's not part of the script. If you ask Tinubu about climate change, it tell you about church rat eating Holy Communion. That's not in the script. That's an embarrassment. So coordinate that. Basement campaign strategy. It will read, right? It will read. When you ask questions, somebody from the team will answer. If you don't understand what I mean, that's exactly what happened at the meeting he had with the investors, Dangote, all of them, contractors. Dangote will be quota system billionaire. You know that if to say Dangote is, if Nigeria is a real country and Dangote has to compete with other chronic capitalists like himself, it won't be a richest man in Nigeria. You know that. Or it won't even be a richest man in Kano. But he's a quota system billionaire. Okay? He has his own master key, direct key to the Nigerian vault at the Central Bank of Nigeria. I won't be surprised. As they print money for Bokuwari, maybe then they print for him too. So they were all there. But when they were asking questions about what they said they want to do, Kolu just did the nap. Others, they answer for him. If you don't understand what I mean, watch this. And meanwhile, you see that Wike's video, the credit to that goes to the AIT. Thank you so much, AIT, for giving us that content from Wike. So I'm so sorry I didn't mention that earlier. But for this particular one, even though the quality is somehow, let's still give the credit to the source. Arise TV. But basement campaign strategy. He don't win election, then use them for Joe Biden. Now in Nigeria, now APC, Egbe, they are parading Ikoyi Joe Biden to all of you as well, Abi. So you will see, and you'll be wondering, how they take do am? This is how they normally do it. And they always pass themselves and say, we have done well. This is fantastic. They ask Tifnumbu question, and other people they answer.
We shall continue to fight against insecurity by redefining our counterinsurgency doctrine and practice. Our response to terror, kidnapping, and violent criminality will be defined by the following elements. We shall enlist more people in the armed forces, security services, and the police.
Time to interact and entertain questions from the audience, and there are plenty of them, from the economy to health, education, power, and the environment.
What are your thoughts around clean energy as a critical pathway
to transform this country.
I'd like to understand from Your Excellency, what strategies are you going to put in place to close the gap between the existing parallel market rates and the official foreign exchange rates?
We have about over 10 gigawatts of installed capacity, generating capacity with gas. So we will ensure that we're paying commercial prices for gas upstream so that you can invest in gas supply to the power sector, so that you can unlock your existing generating capacity. You will make sure that the discos are able to charge commercial tariffs that...
Who they ask question? Who they answer? Your Excellency, what is your plan about... see who they answer. That is called basement campaign strategy. It doesn't have to answer. It's just going to be there. But if you ask him about, Your Excellency, do you think, you have a chance against, to be able to defeat Peter Obi or Atiku Abubakar? None of those guys will answer that. Tinubu will answer himself, because around that time, he can throw the jibe and say things so freely. You get what I mean now? But when it comes to things that are really going to touch you, affect your lives and everything, you know if he answer, you won't cause wahala. You go no say, oh, I say, Benny dump gonsha. I know. Shut up your mouth. If you tell your papa, say your papa dump, my papa is not running for president, one, and my papa is dead. So which means, right? Somebody is running, a dump man is running to be the president. Somebody who can't even tell you things they wrote in a book. Tell you everything often and say, this is me. I dictated it for all of these people to write them in a book for me. They are my thought, they are my mind. All that stuff. And speak so freely without having to begin to speak in tongues. No time, wait if Tinubu talk, where go see people, where go to interpret. Say, wait if Tinubu mean for you. They say, no, he's trying to, what if Tinubu said, some of you don't understand. They started explaining. I say, but now English in TikTok. Now English, I understand English. This guy, they talk nonsense. No, it's not nonsense. It's only smart people that I say, you see, Bokwari go talk, you go need interpreter. Now, Tinubu go talk, now you will see interpreters too. Have you noticed? Have you noticed that? You haven't. You are not paying attention if you haven't. People, when Bokwari talk or say something stupid, you will see interpreters explaining it to you. No, you don't understand what he meant. What he's trying to say. In fact, I understand what Buhari said, though. Now, one madman where they corner go did it. You see? All of you say, this Buhari na wereo, this Buhari na wait be nonsense. You go just see one madman for corner. You see? And I think I understand. I get what Buhari is trying to do. Then ask him to come and explain. Not that he has much explanation, but he shall get him. I think I get what he's trying to say. Then he will begin to interpret. You say, she will lean. Kill and so kill you so. It will anger you more. You can't get more angry. Now so it be. Now they say now because of Buhari's accent, Buhari's tongue, Southern Yoruba, Tinubu is now they have interpreter for him. If you say anything, they will be explaining to you what he mean. How did they wait him concern that and only communion? It's because you are not smart now. It's because you are not smart. What Tinubu is saying is that in a church rat is poor. Okay? So church rat that is poor, now hit the Holy Communion to survive. So climate change, the Oyibo knows that we are poor. Shebi, you know that we are poor. I say, yes, Nigeria is poor. So that is the church rat. I say, okay. So, because the church rat is poor. I say, yeah, I'm listening. Then he eat the Holy Communion because he has to survive on Holy Communion. I say, what is the Holy Communion? The forest, we are cutting firewood. We are cutting tree to make firewood. Oh, okay. Is that the part of firewood? Okay, yeah, explain to me, please. Now, climate change will cause all this explanation, because Tinubu they speak in a tongue. When he's saying jargons, interpreter go they explain to you. So you see, when you cut the tree, you see, Mayegu, you know that the trees are supposed to provide echo. Green, I said, yeah. but we were cutting tree to make firewood. I said, no, that's not really true. We are cutting wood, we are cutting trees, right? To make planks and all of that for those who are slicing them. For the one we are using for firewood, they are the branches of trees. I said, it's only. I said, so the tree be the only communion. It's the only communion. So you both are now complaining that we are cutting tree to make firewood. Meanwhile, we are church rats, that is very poor, living inside church. I said, okay. So if you both don't want us to eat the trees for firewood, the only communion, they should give us something to eat. I said, but how does that resolve climate change? Oh, this my ego no get sense. This my ego no understand. I can't explain to you again. I waste my time. I said, but Papa, I know I myself no get time. They ask how you want to resolve climate change issue and all of that. You they tell me about tree, they tell me about rat, you they tell me about Holy Communion, the church, the poverty. Papa, what thing happen? He said, I tell you, this my ego no get sense. That's it. You've wasted your life listening to Tinubu and trying to understand him. You suffered 8 years under Boko Haram, where interpreters stay everywhere. They explain what Boko Haram mean. Now they have started with Tinubu. It's your choice. Oh, I mean, me, I'm here. I just pray they allow him speak his mind. They should let him speak his mind. He's a man of his mind. Let Tinubu talk so that we can see, we can listen and hear how he feels. That's more natural. Just like he warned Funke Akindele warned the people never to mention her around him. It's an insult, like for nonsense. Oh, excuse me. Now we are about 1,800 of us on YouTube. Do you mind if I take just 1-2 minutes break and you also take a moment to like this broadcast, right? Share it. And when I get back, we can go on to go and get your PVC. We are going to use PVC to fight this and that. Sure, you don't hear. They say for southern Nigeria, especially for Igbo land and Niger Delta, all of now, we don't go get your PVC. Go get your PVC. Go get your PVC. 49.3% of you will register online that are celebrating. They say 49%, almost half of you. Your registration is invalid. You know, do and well. But you see, northern Nigeria, where illiteracy is at, where war, what do you call it? Boko Haram war, Fulani terrorists and these kidnappers here and there are rampant. They don't rig you before you even do any charade election. And when some of you wake up that morning or the day after, when I go realize, say, I just wasted my time, Nisha. I will come back to that. Make Wike entertain us a bit. Don't go anywhere. Just take a moment. If 1,000 of us, come on, man. You are watching on YouTube, right? You are not a robot. So maybe half of you don't even like me, or probably I'm just feeling like the members of the Temple of Truth are here. But I say we get visitors, Abi. I go keep my offering. I know they give you any like my this guy will be say, but it no matter if you give her for free, now willingly. Whatever happens, don't go anywhere. And now we'll be back just in a minute or two.
How many them there? Why we no go read them? How many them there? Why we no go read them? How many them there? Why we no go read them? How many them? How many them there? Why we no go read them? How many them there? Why we no go read them? How many them? Some people think say you dey do juju.
Is this a joke? They will never go free.
Them dey bone face oh yeah, them dey bone face for. Everybody, yes, so we get them walk. You know, as I'm watching on television now, they paint them. That is all. And they sweet when they see me appear like this, they paint them. And I promise them, I'm here to bury them. I see they paint them, they sweet us. I see they paint us, they paint. When I say I see they paint them, they sweet us. I see they sweet us, they go they paint. I see they paint them, they sweet us. Face me and face you. Every morning, every afternoon, every night, weekend, every time, weekend. Weekend is not important. Why are you worried? Weekend is not important. Why are you worried? Allow weekend to rest. A big man, a big man, a big man, a big
man. Big man, a big man, a big man, a big man. Very wicked. Now one of the people you go miss after their 2023 charade. So talking about 2023 charade, the independent INEC of Nigeria, they have released their own, should I say, verified and confirmed list of those of you who are going to be part of their election. Now, surprisingly, just like as it has always been, the people of southern Nigeria have recorded, as always, like I said, during their election too, southern Nigeria are always recording more invalid votes. If they even manage to count them, they will be invalid, right? But northern Nigeria, that is always in the news, including all the internally displaced persons or people living in these refugee camps across northern Nigeria, in some places, electricity, mobile network, they are no longer in existence. But whenever they want to make their release, northern Nigeria always turn up. So somebody now did a sort of a shorter research. Let me see if I have that clip and I can use that to break that. If I don't find it, I'll still break it down for you to let you have an idea. So they have released their statement, which is that region by region, region by region, geopolitical zones. So geopolitical zone, from one geopolitical zone to the other, how did the registration go? How many were successful? How many were not completed and they were not successful? And then how many people will get their voters card? And how many voters card they are going to actually like a dump in the dump site? You will never get them. It's all deliberate. Because you see, now I don't know, some of you are smart people who have actually been doing some certain things, even though you are in Nigeria, based on your exposure. Me, I was exposed, so forget to. I just, but nevertheless, I believe that when INEC or your politicians, when they put up a board of how they actually control, where do they control in Nigeria? Look at all of this, Your politicians, when they put up board like this and they color them, they put up what they believe that, let's say, these blue zones are the places that they are popular. They can easily buy people, rig election or do anything unchallenged, right? So they won't spend much here. You see these places that are in red, you call them electoral map. So you see all these places in red, you can say they are regions that you are not popular. Now, you control the center and your control zigzag around, just like Nigeria is right now, where APC, Egbekegbe, the government of Nigeria have lost control of 30% of the Nigerian territory to either criminals or terrorists. Now look at my hand here, right? Let's say this is Nigeria, and your politicians, for example, APC, Egbe, and the rest, right, who have the advantage. Let's use them. This is your electoral map, okay? This blue area are the places they are popular, regions they are popular. They control the police, they control the military, they control the INEC, they control the numbers of people. They know the numbers of people that will come in and say they want to register to vote. When people come out here to register that they want to vote, they won't face any difficulty. They are the easy areas controlled by them. But when you go around these red spots, because they know, you know, this number are more than 3. This is 4. Abi? There are other 3 here, maybe controlled by other people. But let's say this 3 is where the ruling people actually have influence for real. Other places, they consider them as the territories of those who are their enemies, because everybody be their enemy, right? So they, controlling the center, they can use that influence, which is called abuse of power, by the way, which is what Nigeria is known for. They can then control how people at this red zone have access to, 1, infrastructural development, opportunities like jobs, economy activities that create advantages and opportunities among people. They can control what goes here. Since they control the center, they can control what comes through the border into these areas. If they want those that come through the border from these areas to flux in, to flood these parts and create crime, escalate crime, in order to reduce the influence, their influence of taking this center. It's called political map, by the way, political map. So what they have done is this. So if they know that the number of people registering to vote in these places, they are not going to vote for them, or they are going to ensure they lose power. All they have to do is very simple. Increase crime in these places, including even if you have to flood the area with drugs. If the young people are the people who are agitating to take over this center from these guys, you can send influx of drugs, increase of crime, arrest, and other things that will just make sure that they will remain disorganized. Now, when they now want to use election, like in Nigeria, you can choose how many of them are going to successfully be able to vote. Because if you register and your registration is called void after months, like you are registering now, the system didn't tell you that you've made mistake. Their system, their computer, when you are filling it up, it didn't say you make mistake. Correct you there. A day or 2 after you submitted that to their system didn't send you message to say, oh, your application is faulty. But months and months after, and few weeks to the election, now your names are not going to be in the election register. That is called rigging before elections even start at all. So they control the number of people that will be able to challenge them here, 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 and here. So in this case, you can pick areas where APC, Egbe have lost it all, how they've divided Nigeria, and how much they dread if these zones decide to take advantage. So what you do is that you control what they are capable of doing without even saying it, without touching them. So for those who now succeeded, they say, oh, your own registration succeeded, though, your PVC is going to be ready in 2 weeks. Now that's going to be another one. Now, when you realize that the number of those who are going to have that PVC, they are going to be a threat as well. If they should go against us, what do? You also control the number of them by making sure that majority of them will never get that PVC until after the election. So what that simply means is that before you even go and vote at all, they don't rig you out. Now you go come they ask later how it take happen. Because according to them, they are not coming to even win these places. Okay, they've lost value. They've lost the whole country. But they have concentrated vuvuzelas in some places, still sharing them on. Now, what do they need? If they get some percentage here and there, it can validate the riggings that will happen between all their bases. If you are not happy with it, go to the same court where they appointed their judges. So when they said Tinubu is favored to be your next president if they do your election, don't wave it, oh. Don't say God forbid, oh. We shock them. Nonsense. Hey, you are enemy of... See, some of the people telling you all these things, most of them, they actually wish it's the other way for those who are interested in your election. So for me, I am interested in the consequences they warned you about. What's that consequence and consequences? They said Tinubu has the capacity. Is is a brutal capitalist himself, and they don't keep prisoners. Some of you may not understand this, but you would eventually. Don't worry, you will eventually. But when they use all the mago, use all the muzzling, all the force, every manipulation, everything, it will make Nigeria better. The outcome of it, will only facilitate the complete breakup of Nigeria. Something they are telling you will never happen. Did anybody tell you that Nigeria will be this divided when everybody then was shouting change, and others are saying na change. The result of 2015 and the follow-up of 2019, they have been the easy ingredient, as well as the failure of APC. They have been the easy ingredient that are tearing Nigeria apart. Give them another time and just watch Nigeria completely desecrated. Like I said, if some of us have a choice, or let me say if we have a chance of making sure that all these things never happen, and they should never happen, we'll do that too. Because when this whole thing comes crashing, it won't even recognize you whether you are a Yoruba or Igbo, Hausa or Fulani, Ijo or whatever you. Are you with me? The calamity or the consequences of all of the actions, it won't even care whether you are a Christian or a Muslim, a pagan or atheist, whatever you want to describe yourself as, you will be dealt with because you are human, you are Nigerian, you are in Nigeria. And people are now praying, may Nigeria not happen to them. May God, not Nigeria help happen to me. Do you know what that means? It means something horrible, because when it happens to you, you will feel it. And the first question you're likely, depends, right? The first question that you're going to ask yourself is going to be, why me? God, why me? It's not God. It's this devil. The devil who have brought more calamity, ruin. And guess what? They have not even started. They said it. They said they haven't started. This is just the beginning. You know, I've left you if you don't know. Anyway, that is that part. I think I have managed in my small way to cover some of the description of this conversation tonight. Okay, the other part I haven't touched is not so relevant. It is just part of the failure that they believe they could use against Igbo people. Talking about Bokwari's failure, Bokwari's hatred, Bokwari's vengeance against Igbo people, which is so real. And for 7 years, it's been what? It's been going on and on and on and on, ensuring the continued destruction of the economy of Eastern Nigeria. Now they are talking about sit-at-home on Mondays as as a political, what do you call it, as a political slag, or should I say slagging? Doesn't really matter. They are now coming to Anambra, Imo, and few other places to campaign for Kolu on Monday. So maybe they will say they are sitting at home. Hell yeah, now we'll come and do Tinubu's campaign on Monday. If anybody, if them burn them that, well, if for no government, if them burn, they deceive themselves. Just tell your boys, okay? not to kill anybody that day. The people you are paying, the people you are sponsoring, the ones that you called unknown, but we know they are known. APC, especially Uzodingba, Uzodinjo. Don't go and bomb Holu, Osu, and start killing people because you want to do APC campaign in Owerri or in all these places. So that's one I said, like I said, it's not really relevant, but it's part of their campaign. And they say, Emperor is coming to town to come and campaign in Igbo land. Anybody will come, I will go. But again, experts have told us it's a two-way thing. When they come to any part of Igbo land on Monday to campaign, and people fail to come out, sure you get, and you see scanty crowd at their campaign ground, they will tell you it is because of the unknown gunmen who threaten them, or they will say it's because of IPOB. Depend on any of their propaganda and lie that you are living with. Because I don't know your mind. Some of you are actually living witnesses that their propagandas, their lies are actually working. So I don't know which one they have fed you with. Okay. But when they go and do their campaign in Igbo land and they don't see anybody come out, or they don't see enough people coming out, they will say, oh, it's because of the unknown gunmen. Meanwhile, if they manage to bring a lot of people out as well, they will say, Najagaban go hand IPOB. The point I'm going to make is that their trip to the Eastern Nigeria is not because they need any votes there. It's not because they care about anybody there. It is just one of those this ego massaging trip that still not going to heal Nigeria. It's still not going to unite Nigeria. All their intention, all their mind, everything is still going to be the continuation of what Bukwari stand for. So at the end of the day, they just want to mark the record and see how and build excuse for why they would deal with the Igbo people just same way Bukwari dealt with them. I just said I should tell you this because I can tell you this free of charge too. There is no single plan for anywhere in Igbo land in their data. If you read anything there, and you probably from Igbo land, APC, Egbekegbe, you better cut them out. Frame them. That's the only thing you will get. Everything written in there, whatever for the people of Eastern Nigeria, just like they did in 2015 and 2019. Just cut them out, cut them out, frame them, put them in your room. That is what you are going to get. Everything else in it, you can dream on. Dream on. And they are coming to come and commission the uncompleted second Niger bridge. Again, like I said, mostly insignificant, mostly irrelevant and all that. But you should just know about it. I rest my case. Now open the line. Princess have a good news for us. So we have chosen that our publicity for the Yoruba Union and reminding our people that we still believe and strongly believe that the Yorubas should fight and push for a referendum, independence, autonomous referendum for the Yoruba people. It remains the only option we have, and we will continue to put that in the subconscious mind of our people. So Princess, she said that she was expecting to get the delivery of our our mobile stickers today. If she has, fine. If she hasn't, she'll tell us. But listen, there are people who are you're going to see some of this on cars, especially in Yoruba land, and some of these cars are going to be driven even outside Yoruba land. And when you see them, you will know it's from us. We'll continue to work on the mind, the consciousness, this conscious and the subconscious mind of our people, and continue to plant it there, no matter what they are telling you now. Okay? So these are ready, and we'll take it further. Let me take a few calls. Meanwhile, let me just take another break. This time around, I know my people are, let me just say those who have actually liked this video, all of you have actually liked, like we discussed. I want to believe those are the real Mayegun Temple of Truth members. Can you believe that? We've got nearly 2,000 people and only 600 of you are the real Temple of Truth members. We won't force it. But when you have the time, maybe during this break, like that broadcast, and I will be back just in a moment. Don't go anywhere.
Liar.